Everybody, welcome back. It is June 22nd, 2022, and we got a great show put together for you guys today. Actually, you guys create the show, so welcome back. It's Mob Vlog. So Wemette, Rednesday today, and we have a great guest to bring on the show today. When Red told me that he got put in touch with this guest, I said, no way.
She reached out for me. She said she'd like to reconnect with me.
I said to Red, I said, would she come on and do an interview and take some questions and whatnot? So he asked. I mean, what could go wrong with asking, right? So he says, no, that's the worst that can happen. So she happened to say yes, and we're going to have her on in just a minute.
Diane has known me since I was 21 years old.
Since Red was 21, hey, guys, she calls him Billy.
That's okay.
I love it. I love it. You guys are gonna love her. She's awesome. But hey, Red, I heard you got a package from William Kirchmayer.
I sure did. I want to thank you, Bill.
What is it, Red?
It's a GTO. Look at the front.
Hey, didn't you have a GTO?
I sure did. That's the one I dumped in Lake Michigan.
You told that story that you drove that thing into Lake Michigan. It was blue, wasn't it? Is that the same color?
It's all complete. It's got a muffler, everything on. The interior is perfect. Thank you so much, Bill. Bill Kirchmeyer. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Bill Kirchmeyer is awesome. That's pretty cool.
I'm just leveling it out in front of the camera. There we go.
Is that a 67? Scott H is asking.
Yes, it is.
It is. And it's the same color
you have. The exact same color, the exact same thing.
That's too awesome. That's really cool. You
can see the steering wheel through the windshield there.
Yeah. I could see, man.
And the gear shift.
That's really
Bill,
cool.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. The last one I dumped, Big Bob Davis, was on Lakeshore Drive, and he had a sawed-off shotgun, and he was trying to catch me, and I ran it off into Lake Michigan.
Wow.
Everybody asked me what happened to that car. Well, now I don't have the car, but I have a replica. And
that's
it's gorgeous.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
That's really cool. William Kirchmayer, he reached out to me in the email and said, hey, what's his address? I want to surprise him with it.
It was a surprise. It was a big box.
That's really
And then I had to go through all the wrappings and everything. He wanted to make sure it didn't get damaged. And a beautiful card. He sent me a wonderful card with it, too. Thank you for the gift, Bill.
That's really
so much.
That got Red and I thinking. Last night we were talking about it, and we're going to start doing something really neat on the show. I'm going to tell you about it later, and I'm going to say hello to all of you guys. Just quickly run through. Hello, everybody. I don't want to read off everybody's name today. I want to get into this show, and I think you guys are going to be very interested. If you want, hang out at the after party after the show, and we can all say hello. Okay, so and that'll be in the description below. Just click the link. So let's get into this. Diane Hansen knew Tony Spilotro as well as many other Chicago Outfit Mobsters. She was married to Curt Hansen and living in Chicago Heights. She has many experiences and stories to tell, from dating Mario DeStefano to rubbing elbows with Milwaukee Phil and even having cocktails with Joey the Clown Lombardo. It isn't often you get to hear a chance to hear about the outfit guys from a lady's perspective. So today, that's your chance. She is a lady, by the way. This isn't your run-of-the-mill Virginia.
She certainly is.
Be respectful if you guys decide to participate during our live broadcast, okay? So, with no further ado, welcome, Diane. How are you today?
Nephew. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on Mob Vlog, and we're looking forward to getting into this and hearing some stories. And can you tell us a little bit about where you're from?
Well, I grew up around Taylor and Western, that's Chicago area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where I grew up. And then from there I went to Cicero and lived there for a while. And from Cicero, I moved to Chicago Heights for a while. And then back to Cicero.
And you even lived out here in Vegas too, you said.
Well, I lived in Las Vegas 6 years and Scottsdale, Arizona. I opened up a couple of restaurants in between all those years.
Okay.
And,
when I first met you, Diane, it was in the Heights, wasn't it? Chicago Heights?
yes.
How did you guys meet?
Through Curt, my husband.
I was in the car with Curt. I pulled up. That was it. I'd never seen the place before.
That's how we met. Billy came to the house and put an air conditioning unit in for me in my kitchen. Huge. Bigger than him. It was huge.
Afternoon, everybody. Be sure to hit the like button, okay? Everybody's saying hello to you. All of our regular listeners are all in the house, Diane, and really interested in hearing about. I don't know. Tell us a little bit about how, growing up on Taylor Street. Did you know Frankie Forliano?
No. If I did, I probably knew him by his nickname or something, not by his real name.
Her.
Oh, yeah.
That was Harry Ailman's wife, or daughter.
Harry Ailman's daughter. No?
Did you say Turk?
No, we said Harry Ailman's daughter.
No.
No? Okay, how about Frank Collada? Just
Don't think so.
no. Okay. So tell us a little bit about growing up on Taylor Street, what it was like.
It was very all Italian. Nobody else around there. And it was all clubs, and everybody that had a club, that opened up a club, it was like a storefront. And they all, of course, the mafia people let us open up the clubs. And it was just the people that knew the people that could go to the clubs. They were dances. We had a jukebox. That's all we had. But all the people congregated, our groups. And each group was a different age group. I was the youngest. My sister was 4 years older. She was in the next group, another club. And then it went accordingly. I was in the Nobles. She was with the Continentals. And they were all different groups all the way down from Taylor and Webster to Taylor and Halstead.
They were social clubs.
They were social clubs, right.
And that's where everybody hung.
Everybody went there, yes. Everybody that was that age group.
So you also had a twin sister, or have a twin sister?
Yes.
You do? Okay. Which identical, right?
Uh-huh.
So you could get away with things.
Oh, we did.
How could I guess?
We definitely did. More than what you think. Yeah. In fact, she ran one of my hot dog stands when I opened it up. And because she had said she was mopping the floors one afternoon before she opened. And she said, two gentlemen came up to the window and wanted a hot dog. And she said, well, I'm not open yet. And they kind of laughed. And they said, well, okay, we'll come back. Well, they came back to the office on State Street, and that was Tony Spilotro and Joey Lombardo. They came for hot dogs to check out the hot dog stand because we were business partners together.
That was a Weenie World hot dog stand.
Weenie World Incorporated was a corporation they formed.
Irv Weiner.
Oh boy, here we go. Weiners, Wieners.
Yeah, Weenie World Incorporated, and we were really big. We were having manufactured at McCormick. We were at McCormick Place for the shows. It was really a big thing. We had 3 going at one time. We did. Then we were selling the units to other people.
Huh.
That's what we did.
You were kind of like the prototype.
Right. I was just there, whatever. I liked it. It was fun because it was only open in the summer. It gave me something to do, and it closed in the winter.
Big Dog, non-vet. Every Italian I've ever knew said that they were from Taylor and Halstead. They must have stood on each other's shoulders. So that was a big Italian community, that area.
Yeah, Halstead's quite a ways from Western. You're talking about, a big distance. It's not close.
She was on the west side of Taylor Street.
Right, so all the way down Taylor Street, with clubs all the way down. All the way.
So Outfit Boss wants to know if you ever met Frank Schweiss.
I don't believe so.
No, Red's our guy for Frank. So
it was an American Bonding. I always hung out with Irv Weiner.
Well, I had to meet him. I must have met him, but I don't remember.
I saw him, but he wasn't very sociable.
I don't remember talking to him like one-on-one.
He didn't talk to people
like I did with Tony or Joey or
Right. So growing up, you knew Teets Battaglia.
Oh yes, I did.
Did you tell us that story?
Well, I used to work. I was 19 years old, and I worked at MGM Lounge, which was in Cicero, and of course it was mafia owned. Well, Teets Battaglia, Willie Potatoes, and all the guys used to come in to have lunch. Well, they liked me. I was a little girl. They called me. Bring the little girl over. We want her, right? And I'm like, oh God, no. Well, anyhow, I'd go sit with them. And Teets said, I'll drive you home. This is after we sat there for an hour having cocktails and talking. So I said, okay, fine. So he's driving me home and he pulls over and he goes to grab me. And I go, wait a minute. Didn't your mother teach you not to take things that don't belong to you? Well, he looked at me and he bust out laughing. He said, you know something? You're okay, kid. I'm taking you home.
Didn't you meet Sam Giancana too?
Yes, that was also at MGM Lounge.
Why don't you tell us that story?
A party of 6 came in, of course, all men, and one was Giancana. So there were 3 waitresses. It was a lunch at like 4 o'clock shift because it was open in the evening. Anyhow, so I'm standing there waiting for a table like everybody. I was only 19. And he points to me and he says, we want that little girl to wait on us. So my cook, whose name was Carl at the time, I went in the kitchen. I said, Carl, I don't want to wait on them. Don't you know who that is? He said, yeah, honey, but you have to. I said, why do I have to? I don't want to. He said, you'll understand. That's Sam Giancana. I said, I don't care who it is. He said, you have to do it. So I said, fine. So I took the order, wrote it all down, took it. Well, I was a kid. Went in the kitchen, put the order in, came out with the tray, brought the food out, gave them their food. And they just sat down, and Sam Giancana goes to eat, and he looks at me, and he took one bite, and he calls me over, come here, kid, So I thought, oh, God, what did I do, right? So I walked over, and I said, yes. He said, honey, I ordered this cooked to order. It's not cooked to order. Well, I didn't even know what cooked to order was at the time. So I said, well, okay, I'll tell the cook. So I went back into the kitchen. I said, Carl, I screwed up the order. I gave him spaghetti, but he wanted to cook to order. What's cooked to order? He said, honey, that means cooked right then and there. I'll go out with you. So Carl walks out with me to the table, and he's apologizing to them. I'm sorry. He said, she's a kid. She's not used to doing this and blah, blah, blah. So Sam Giancana says, oh, that's okay, honey. Don't worry. We'll just make it over again. It's not a big deal. That's why they do this, right? But I did.
Was he a nice guy, though?
Very nice.
Very nice. And yeah.
But they all were to me. Don't forget, they were like 20, 25 years older than me. And to them, I was a kid. Like, I didn't know nothing, which I didn't, at the time. So I thought, well, they're all nice.
Street Stories, Anthony DiMartini. Good to see you. And it's good to have all of you guys in here in the room today. It's crazy that Portillo's the most successful hot dog guy and he's Hispanic. Yeah, it's kind of seeing how it's gone a long ways. Snyder's on 99th and Western. You guys know that place? Remember it at all?
No.
Hot dog joint? No, okay. Was Al's Italian Beef on Taylor back then?
I think so, yes. I think it was on Carpenter. Taylor and Carpenter.
Yes, it was.
Chad Blocklinger's wondering, Diane, did you know Wayne Bach?
No.
He hung out with Frank Schweiss.
No, I didn't.
You never saw him in American Bonding.
I probably seen him, but didn't talk one-on-one with him.
Why don't we talk about American Bonding, Diane? How many people did you meet there, and who did you meet there?
Well, I met a lot of people there, but people I really talked to a lot was Tony Spilotro and Joey Lombardo. And, of course, Joe Cosentino, because he did the bonding, and Irwin, of course. Irwin Weiner, because he was a on the whole thing. Yeah. But several people, I mean, they were in and out all the time. But when they would come in, they'd park in the back. And when they talked, they would always talk like this. Because they knew, because across the street from there was a big high rise. And they knew the FBI had cameras on them. So they did that so they couldn't read their lips. They had people reading their lips. So I mean, it was definitely different.
If you describe Tony, how would you describe him?
To me, he was very, very nice. Very much so. Soft-spoken, always a gentleman, always hello, how are you? It would smile on his face when he seen me. Always nice. I have nothing else to say about him. To me, it was very nice. And so was Joey. Joey always had a smile on his face.
Would you describe him as happy-go-lucky?
Yes.
I would too.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Like he didn't have a care in the world type of look.
So many people read things in books about these people, and they make them out to be monsters. There's only one monster you and I talked about, and that was Sammy D.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Excuse me?
About Sammy D?
Yes. Okay.
Do you want to tell
I never met Sammy D.
No.
No.
You knew his brother.
But Mario, I did quite well. In fact, he and I dated for quite a while.
So do you want to tell the story about you're in the lounge and somebody...
Oh, yes. We were at a place called the Black Door. It was on Harlem Avenue North. My girlfriend and I. And we were, of course, having a drink because everybody went there. It was a new place to go. And the bartender said to the other bartender, hey, let's get ready. Sammy D's on his way. And I said to my girlfriend, I said, Sammy D, let's get out of here. She said, because I don't want no part of him. I know I've heard too much about him. He's not like Mario. Let's go. So we left our drinks, actually, and we left. So I never met Sammy D. Never wanted to meet him.
But you heard his name, and we called him Sammy D back then.
Right. Oh,
everybody now says Crazy Sam, and it's Sam DeStefano.
Sammy D was what he was called then. And everybody was deathly afraid of him. He did crazy things like in front of the courthouse with bullhorns and just things that people didn't do. Okay. So and Mario was just the opposite. Mario was very soft spoken. If he raised his voice, if he did, which is very rare, and he said something, you could believe it would be done. He wasn't like ranting and raving like Sam was. They said like a maniac. Mario was not like that. Very right to the point, and that was it.
You dated Mario, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Is that how you met Curt?
No, I met Curt before that. Actually, I met Mario. I'm sorry, I met Mario before that. I was just 10, 11 years old when I met Mario because my older sister got a job working for him. And she took my twin sister and I to the restaurant to fill out an interview or whatever they did then. And that's when I met him. And I remember looking up at him, my sister and I, and we said to each other, oh, God, he looks like a movie star because he was so handsome. I mean, people would flock into the pancake house. I mean, I was a hostess there. And they would flock into the pancake house and they would talk about him. I'd pour their coffee. I'd hear them. Oh, woman. Oh, my God, look how handsome. Look how handsome. That's all they talked about. They weren't there to eat. They were there to look at him.
That's crazy. I would never think looking at a picture like that you'd think that back then of a Mario, but yes. now Mario was Mario the one who shot Sam with Tony?
I don't know that. That's what they say. Of course, right. I don't know how true it is or it isn't true.
But he didn't seem like a vicious guy or anything like that to you.
He never seemed vicious. I saw him get angry once when I was working at the pancake house. I went up to the cook station, which was like 6 feet from the table where he and I were having coffee, because he would pick me up and home and take me to work with him. Okay. Well, we were having our coffee and I got up to order my food and I told her it was a colored cook and I told her what I wanted. There was 2 cooks back there. And she said, I'm very busy right now. I'll get to you when I'm finished making this order. So I said, that's no problem. That's okay. So I went back and sat down. Well, he looked at me and he said, did I hear her right? I said, yes. He jumped up from the table. I mean, almost ran to where she was behind the station there. And he said, listen to me. When she orders something, you drop what you're doing and you make it now. And she said, yes, Mr. Mario. Yes, Mr. Mario. Well, my order was up in seconds. And I said, you didn't have to do that. I don't care about waiting. No, you don't do that. He said, no one's going to disrespect you in front of me, ever. And that's what
they treated you like a princess.
Unbelievable. I mean, I was embarrassed, actually. I felt bad for her. But
I've told a lot of people about you. And then connecting with you has been so...
I'm so happy I found you, Billy, after all these years.
We're lucky.
This YouTube thing is so cool because this is what happens. Connections like this get made because people see it and find or hear about. And I love watching this kind of stuff happen. Diane, Saint for Life wants to know if you ever met Tony Accardo or Joey Aiuppa.
Oh, Joey Aiuppa's nephew I dated for a long time. In fact, we got engaged. That was Mo. His name was Mo. And he kind of ran Cicero for Joey Aiuppa. And that was many, many years ago, of course. And in fact, I have pictures, not of him because he didn't want any pictures. But the last, my daughter, when she was 3, he threw a big birthday party for her. He always was he was overly, he wanted something, he wanted it. And if people were going to a restaurant, he wanted the front table, he wanted this, he wanted that. And of course, everybody jumped. They didn't even hesitate. If you want it, you got it, right? And I dated him for a long time, but then he was getting kind of too serious. And I didn't want to get serious at that time. So I called Curt. Curt was in Chicago Heights then. This when he had the buildings, apartments, whatever they were. And I called Curt and I said, I got to get out of Cicero. He said, what's the matter? And I said, well, I'm dating this guy. And I explained the situation. I said, he's getting too clingy. I don't want to get married. I got to get out of here. So he said, okay, I'll pick you up and move you out to the Heights. So I left. I just left. I never said goodbye to nothing. I just left. Well, then a month or 2 later, he calls a friend of mine who works for this car dealer. I forgot his name because he was a mafia guy also who had owned this car dealer. And she was dating him. Anyhow, she worked for him. But she gets a phone call from Mo saying, tell your friend Diane I know where she's at. And I thought, oh, Jesus. He tracked me down in Chicago Heights. Never bothered me. Thought it was funny. And then it was months later, I moved back to Cicero because I like Cicero. And I'm walking down the street. And would you know, he pulls up in his Cadillac right on the curb, blows the horn, presses the window down. He said, I told you I'd find you. I said, I can't believe you. I cannot believe you. And he's laughing because that's how he was. Everything was funny to him. And that was it. He drove off just to let me know that he knew how to find me.
What years did you live in Chicago Heights?
Oh, God. Let's see. I was, Maria, you were 2 years old.
68, 69.
It had to be about 50-something years ago. 55 years ago, maybe. It was a long time ago.
I think it was 69.
Because Maria was just 3. Not even 3. She was 2. And she's 50.
Born in 63.
She was born in 63, and she was just 2 years old. Not even 2 years old when I was there.
Little.
Wow, so mid 60s then through that and that around that time frame, guys. Quickly, Dan Lardino. Hi, Red. I just got your book yesterday. So far, it's an awesome read. Your Marine Corps graduation photo took me back to boot camp in San Diego, 78 through 82. Semper Fi.
Semper Fi, guy.
And William Kirchmayer, he loves your light up picture behind you, Diane. I like it too.
It's like 50 years old. It's Venice, Italy.
It looks nice, and it looks like fireflies in your hair.
Oh, does it? Yeah, well,
it's great. I like it. Matt Gods wants to know, other than any outfit guys, did you bump into any celebrities back in the day? They're commenting you look like Liz Taylor.
Oh, no, thank you for the compliment. But no, I did not.
You booked celebrities in your nightclub in California.
Well, and not movie stars. They were entertainers. I had a show lounge in California, Downey, California, we had for 10 years. And we booked people like the Drifters, the Coasters, the Shirelles, Ink Spots, who else? Smokey Robinson, all those groups that were popular at that time. It was a great place. I loved it. It was so much fun.
That sounds like a good time. Ryan Brown, thanks for the super sticker. He says that Diane's a great interview. Sending regards from Massachusetts.
Thank you, Ryan.
He's a regular on the channel. So's Larry Lapper. He wants to know who was Diane most uncomfortable to be around. And it's an interesting question, I guess.
Actually, no one. They treated me great. I was never uncomfortable around not one of them, ever. Never. The only time I got a little nervous was with Teets Battaglia. But there again, after I said what I said, he laughed and took me home, But
yeah.
Never uncomfortable around any of them.
One of your gals that you used to luncheon with was Louie Eboli's wife, right?
Oh yeah, Kathy.
You knew Louie Eboli's wife?
Oh, we were very good friends. She was from Taylor Street, Taylor and Carpenter. Oh yeah, we were very good friends, Kathy and I.
How'd you get along with Louie?
I never met Louie. Just Kathy. We'd meet. She'd come to Calumet City. I was living in Calumet City then, and she'd come out there and we'd go bumming around there.
That's where I'm from. You lived in Calumet City.
I lived there. I lived right off of Tivoli, and right for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty. I grew up on Luella. That was the street that I grew up on, and then I lived over by Shrum School, right on the Lansing border, Burnham Avenue, right by the bridge.
I know that, of course.
Yeah, I lived right there.
I don't know if you were, maybe not, but when they opened up River Oaks Shopping Center,
when it was outdoors, it was all outdoors before they made it indoors.
5 minutes from there.
Wow.
I remember when the lady driving, they said that her heel got stuck in her gas pedal and she went into the river and drowned over there, the water. Oh my God, that was awful. On the way to River Oaks.
Wow. I don't remember that, but man, wow.
And they put safety things up so people wouldn't, same thing wouldn't happen. It was terrible.
Sean Penders from Chicago Heights. He wants to know, what was your favorite restaurant in the Heights?
Savoyas.
What was it?
Savoyas with the S.
Savoyas. Did you know Lorenzetti's?
No.
Okay. All right. Did you live in Cicero when Turk Torillo lived there?
Oh yeah, Turk.
Yeah. How about the Pine Lounge in Cicero?
I never really went to the lounges in Cicero, except MGM Lounge, because I was like the kid and everybody kind of,
Right. Hey guys, hit the like button. I mean, guys, we got almost 250 people in here, so hit the like button, okay? We're having a good time today. Let other people know that you're having a good time in this broadcast. Gosh, Red, we needed a good broadcast here. And Diane, thank you so much for doing this, because this is really interesting and entertaining. We have a bunch more questions, sure. But if you guys didn't hear, the Vegas Mob Tour, it's reopened. We're running again, and you guys come out here. Be sure to use the promo code MobVlog and be sure to do the tour. Join us for the Vegas Mob Tour. Experience Sin City's dark past. Learn how Bugsy Siegel built the Flamingo. Find out who killed him and why. Hear who Jimmy Hoffa supplied money to back in the 50s. Visit the actual home used in the 1995 blockbuster movie Casino, and other filming locations as well. See the real jewelry store where Frank Collada and his crew were busted. Sit in the exact spot where Frank Lefty Rosenthal's car was bombed back in '82. View never-before-seen footage of Frank Collada telling personal stories about Tony Spilotro, Joey the Clown Lombardo, and the Hole in the Wall gang.
This house here used to be Tony's house. Sounds like a peach color. It was brown then. The only thing changed is the driveway.
Let us make an offer you can't refuse. Upgrade to our Untouchables experience. Following the tour, you'll enjoy a 3-course Italian dinner in the Tuscany Gardens, and then VIP seating to the award-winning Rat Pack is Back show. Enjoy Vegas. It's the way it was meant to be. And if you guys don't believe me that the tour is good, take it from Valerie Quigley and her family.
Take it from me, it's good.
Welcome back. We just got done doing the Vegas Mob Tour, and Valerie Quigley and the rest of her family came on the tour again. Last time they took it was actually the last tour that Frank and I got to do. So it was awesome having them back. What'd you guys think of the tour?
It was great. It was great.
They came all the way from Kansas. You guys can come too. Prescribe. South Georgia, not Kansas, South Georgia. Adam, what's the matter with you? Now, thanks, Valerie. I got the Battaglia onion hat, which, if you guys remember, that she gave that hat to Frank. I still have it, and now I also have a Battaglia onion cup. See that? So, got the cup. And look at this. Red has the GTO.
Yes.
See, I got a couple of gifts. Red got a gift.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you so much.
William Kirchmayer. Really nice, man. Very, very nice. And thanks again, Valerie and Quigley and the rest of your family. It's really nice to see you guys again. So,
excuse me 1 second. Jim just put something on the internet asking if I ever knew of the Tivoli Steakhouse. And yes, I used to go there frequently with Curt.
Jim Magnifici. I put his question up.
Yeah, I see.
It was a very nice steakhouse. It's called the Tivoli Steakhouse.
I never heard of that. That's a ways back.
It was very good.
Yeah,
we go back a ways.
Yeah. Oh yes, yeah.
So when you came out here to Vegas and you were out here, did you hang out at the Stardust, the Sands, the Dunes, or any of that?
There again. When I came out there, I don't sit. I'm a person who has to do things. So I got a job at Mount Charleston. I'm sure you've been to Mount Charleston, the lodge on the top of the mountain. Have you? Anyhow.
Yeah, up at Mount Charleston, the lodge.
Yeah.
It burned down a couple of years ago. They rebuilt it.
Well, I was the food and beverage manager there for several years. So I was always up there 6 days a week. And incidentally, Tony Spilotro and his friends used to come up there and have their meetings in the back room at the lodge.
Really? Secret meeting place at the lodge. I've never heard this about this.
It was 9,000 feet elevation, It's going up there when it's snowing, except me, because I had to go up there.
Right? Oh, that's really cool. In the summertime, it's nice to go up there to get away from the heat. I didn't know Tony hung, though. That's neat.
Oh, yeah.
I never heard that.
He would meet. Who would he meet with, Diane?
I don't know who they were, because I wasn't there when he came up, but I was told Tony Spilotro was here with his friends having a meeting in the back room, because you've been up there, you know how it was, a circular place, big.
Yeah, it sure is. I should put that on the tour. The Tivoli is now a church.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Sean Penner. He still lives in the church now.
Chicago Heights used to be really a great place to go. And at the time, it was a Jimmy Couture kind of ran Chicago Heights.
Can you mimic Jimmy Couture, how he talked?
Oh, very broken English, Italian. What do you want? Do you want a sandwich?
She's a nicer girl. She's a nicer girl.
She's a nicer girl. He had 100 pairs of shoes. Did you know that?
Yes. Tell him. I told him the story. You told him the story about the 100 pairs of shoes.
Young. All he had was one pair of shoes. So when he came to Illinois or Chicago, he swore that he would have shoes. He had 100 pairs of shoes. That was his thing, his shoes.
In his closet in the bedroom, there were wooden boxes, and he slid them in.
Wow, that's pretty wild. So there's a lot of comments coming in here, guys. But I'm gonna ask this question anyways, Tupac Wallace, even though you called me a jagoff.
What?
In the comments, yeah. I'm gonna ask the question. Here's why I didn't ask it, because I figured it was a little off topic, Tupac. But I'll ask it anyway. Diane, did you know John Wayne Gacy?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay. See, I figured it was way off topic, Tupac. But still, honestly, don't call me a jagoff. I mean, that's just not cool.
That is not very nice.
There you go. You're in timeout.
Timeout.
He still said thanks, though, right before I put him in timeout. See, that's how everybody is on the channel, though.
That makes it good. That makes it interesting.
It sure does. You gotta have that. Okay. How about Surfing Bird wants to know, Diane, did you know Augie Bamonte, the owner of Savoya's restaurant?
No, I never met him. No.
Okay. All right. How about interactions with Joey Lombardo?
Okay. What about? I mean, I've seen
What
him.
kind of interactions did you have with Joey?
Yeah, I mean, did you go out and have drinks with them, or
No, he would come to the hot dog stand in the one in Calumet Park, and we would sit and talk there. And of course, I seen him all the time in the office. Joey Cosentino's bonding office on State
American Bonding.
American Bonding, yeah. They all met there. And of course, I was always there because I would go with Curt, and he would stay, and I would jump in a cab and go down to State Street on Marshall Field and go shopping. But I always saw the guys, but they were always there, But they were always nice to me, and the older guys, like I said, Mario and them, they call me the kid because don't forget I was 20-something years younger than they were.
But they treated you like a lady.
100%, 100%.
That's pretty.
They knew a lady when they saw one.
They were very nice to me. I mean, they were protective. I would go in MGM Lounge. Well, Johnny and Nick owned it, Cocainus, okay? And it was funny because if you were ever in there, they had a long bar with tables on the side of the bar, and then of course the dining room adjacent to it. But they would have a bodyguard on one end of the bar and one on the other end of the bar, which I didn't even know at first, keeping an eye on me so no one would bother me. Like, yeah, really, because I was only 19, 20 years old.
They wanted to protect you, that's all.
They looked out for you, yeah.
Oh, they did all the time. I mean, and Nikki, when I worked there 3 times a week, this was a year, of course, many years ago, and the flip was the style then. And he'd say to me, honey, go next door and get your hair done. I'd say, Nikki, I can't, I'm working. Honey, I own the place. Just go next door, tell her to put it on mine, don't worry about it. So I'd go 3 times a week and get my hair done. They couldn't be nicer to me. They really couldn't.
Wow, that's pretty wild. Didn't one of them offer to fix your teeth?
That was years before that. I was 13 years old. And my sister, one of my older sisters, was hanging around with this girl called Baby Doll. Well, Baby Doll, that was her nickname. Her sister was Kathy, and Kathy married Louie Eboli. Okay? Well, anyhow, Baby Doll came to the house with her friend, who was the outfit guy. I was 13. And she was running upstairs with my sister because he just bought her a full-length mink coat. So she wanted her to see her mink coat. So I'm standing out in front with this outfit guy, and Louie LaPenna was his friend, which I knew Louie from Taylor and Halstead. So the guy said to me, well, what happened to your 2 front teeth? And I said, I was running and tripped and fell and broke my 2 front teeth. They're chipped. And he said, well, honey, why don't you get them fixed? And I said, I really don't have the money right now. I'm only 13 years old. And he said, well, what do you think it cost? And I said, I don't know, hundreds of dollars. So he digs in his pocket and pulls out this wad of money. And he said, I'll give you plenty of money to get your teeth fixed. You're a very pretty girl. And I said, I can't take your money. I don't even know you. And he said, don't worry about it. It's a gift. And I said, I can't do that. So Louie LaPenna says, honey, go ahead, take it. I know him. It's okay. You can take it. I'm like, no, Louie, I can't take somebody's money I don't know. So I never took it. Absolutely not. No.
Huh. That's probably a good thing. You don't want to be in debt.
Well,
right?
This wasn't my character. I just didn't want to do it.
What was your interaction with Willie Massino?
Oh, he was funny. He was always nice. He'd come in with always not alone. He'd meet 2 or 3 or 4 guys there. And he was very pleasant. We'd sit down and have all of us at a big round table that's at 6 or 8 people. That was at MGM Lounge. When we'd have cocktails and they'd order hors d'oeuvres and food, whatever. And then a couple of times they told me to call my twin sister and bring her down. So I called Dawn. Her name was Dawn. And I'd say, Dawn, come on down. Boys want you to have a drink with us. I'm not coming down there. She said, are you crazy? I said, Dawn, just get in the cab and come down. Don't worry about it. So she'd come down. We'd all sit there and have cocktails and hors d'oeuvres. And when we got done, Dawn and I would take a cab home.
That's wild. Joe Collada said, great show, guys. Good to see you, Joe. Jacqueline Moore, Diane, you are a very classy woman. Class is just pouring from you.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Did you meet Ken and Joey Hansen?
Kenny Hansen?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course. He was my brother-in-law.
And what was he like?
Always soft-spoken. Never would really see the other side. I never saw any side of him. But always, they owned Sky High Stables at the time. He and his wife, Beverly. And he was always out of money. Never had money to pay his taxes. Never had money for this. So Curt and I would always give him the money. Okay? And then years later, we gave him, I think, $3,000. That was the last time I seen him. And for his taxes, of course. And then Curt had the aneurysm. It was like a total vegetable. So I called Kenny. I said, hey, I'd like my $3,000 that we gave you. And he said, I don't owe it to you. I owe it to my brother. Click, hung up the phone on me. Well, meanwhile, my friends wanted to do a number on him. And I said, no, we can't do that. Well, we'll just cut his finger off with a diamond. I said, no, you can't cut his finger off. What if Curt wakes up? He's going to ask me why I had his finger cut off. I said, I can't do that. No, they said, well, the diamond's worth a lot of money. I don't care. I don't want the money. I got money. I'm not cutting anyone's finger off. So that was the end of that story. And I never saw Kenny again. That was the last time I seen him.
Wow.
I never got his finger or the diamond because I didn't want any.
Don Berlin said, what an incredible memory. I can't remember which way the bathroom is and when to go. Diane would have been a better witness than Red with her recall. Amazing. Diane, this is a great question. Michael Graham wants to know, were you ever shocked by news stories in the media involving people that you knew who were friends or family with?
Okay, I'm going to run you back now. I'm having dinner with Mario at this beautiful steakhouse. We just sat down, we ordered a cocktail. And I had read the night before about Action Jackson, how he was murdered and tortured and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It made me sick. So now we're sitting down, and I looked at Mario, and I said, Mario, did you do this to Action Jackson? Tell me. I need to know. And he looked at me, and he said, unquote, don't worry, Shorty. What he got, he deserved. He wasn't a good person. And with that, I said, I don't want dinner. I want to go home. And so he said, fine, I'll take you home. He took me home. We didn't discuss it. We never brought it up again. But it made me sick. The whole thing made me sick. I couldn't eat dinner. I couldn't.
Wrong question.
Because I never saw that side of him. So when I read all this on what I could just read, it was 2 pages in the newspaper. And I'm like, you wouldn't do that to a dog. You know, it really upset me. So I couldn't sit and have dinner. And Mario was the type of person, he would not lie to you. If you ask him a question, like he would come right out and tell you, like he did me. He didn't answer yes or no, but that was enough to tell me yes. But never would he lie. He never would. If he told you, I'm going to call you, like, for example, one time Curt and I had an argument. This was years after we were married. And the first time he ever slapped me, he was never violent. I didn't know he was violent. Well, he slapped me twice, and my head kind of bounced off the window. So I was frantic. I ran to the police department. This was in Oak Lawn. I ran to the police department, and I ran up the stairs. My car was still going. He's behind me in his car. And I tell the officer, my husband's going to kill me. He said, well, there's nothing we can do, lady. You got to go home. When it happens, you call. I said, when it happens, are you serious? He said, yes. So with that, I jumped back in my car, drove out to Calumet City, where my twin sister lived, and told her I was frantic. I said, he's going to kill me, because I told him I wanted a divorce. Well, she and I went to Mario, and I hadn't seen Mario in 6 years. He didn't even know I was married to Curt. She went and talked to Mario, and all he said to her was, don't worry, I will take care of Hansen. And with that, Dawn came to the house and told me. She said, I went to Mario. I said, oh my God, Dawn, you can't do that. I'm married to him. She said, well, I did. And he said he will take care of it. And he will. And he's going to call me when he does. Well, meanwhile, Curt's hiding out at the office on State Street. And Mario keeps calling. Curt won't answer the phone. The secretary said, well, he's not here. Finally, Curt said he had to answer the phone because he knew Mario would come there. So he did. And Mario told him, unquote, listen, Hansen, if something happens to Diane, I don't care if it's now or if it's years from now and she's not with you, you are the one I will come looking for, and I will find you. Well, Curt was frantic. He came home and he told me, you got to do something. Mario's going to kill me. I said, what are you talking about? So he proceeds to tell me the story. I said, he's not going to kill you. He said, he is. He said, I don't understand it. I went to Jimmy Coutura and told Jimmy. And Jimmy said, what you talking about? You're married. He ain't going to do this. You're a married man. You're married to her. And Curt said, that you don't understand, Jimmy. He's in love with my wife. So then, of course, I go to Mario. And Curt drives me to Mario's place now, from all the way to Cicero from Calumet City. Because he's frantic. He won't even start the car. He pushes me in front of him when we were walking. No, you start the car. He was frantic. So anyhow, we go there, and I tell Mario. Of course, I had to call Mario because you had to knock on the window. He didn't open the door for anybody. So I got in, and I told him, I said, Mario, I know what you're doing, and I appreciate it. But please, I said, don't hurt Curt. He's frantic. He won't start the car. He pushes me in front of him. I said, he thinks you're going to kill him, Mario. So he just kind of looked. He was leaning on his desk. He always leaned on his desk with his hands on the desk and standing. And he looked at me and he said, okay. I said, please tell me you won't hurt him. He said, I won't. I said, okay, that's all I want to hear. And I said, thank you. I said, thank you. And I left. And I went to the car and I told Curt, I said, he said he's not going to kill you. Don't worry about it. He didn't say those words, but he said he's not going to hurt you. Well, he's just telling you that. I said, listen to me, Curt. He doesn't say something he doesn't mean. So stop stressing out. You're not going to be dead. You're going to be fine. So then that was fine. So then, I don't know, it was maybe a year later or two, something passed. And I'm home, and Curt comes in the house and throws this newspaper at me. He said, well, did you read this? Mario died. And I said, oh. He said, yes, now who are you going to call? Okay. Like, oh, shit, I'm in trouble now, right? So now, unbeknown to me, 2 weeks prior to this, he comes home every day from the office telling me, hey, there's a new outfit guy that took over the whole city. He's supposed to be really, really bad guy, Tony Spilotro. Do you know him? I said, no, I don't know Tony Spilotro. And so now back, he throws the paper, and I'm like, oh, God, now what? So now a week or two later, we pull up to the office, in the back of the office, and we're getting out of the car. And would you believe, as we're getting out of the car, Tony pulls up in his car with Joey Lombardo, and they're getting out of their car. So I turn around, I look, and Tony looks at me, and I look at Tony. I go, Tony, how the hell are you? He goes, hey, I'm good. How are you, kid? Well, Curt almost dropped his teeth out of his mouth. He said, I thought you didn't know Tony Spilotro. I don't know him by Tony Spilotro. I know my little Tony. I know him very well. I said, well, that was it. He never threatened me again because he knew I would go to Tony in a minute.
Little Tony, that's
what Curt spoken a couple times. Tell the folks about the time you went to the park to meet Joey.
Wait, hold on 1 second, quickly. Larry Lapper wants to know if you met Angelo or Jimmy LaPietra.
The name sounds weird, but I really, if I did, it was very briefly. I don't remember them as being a friend or something, and I would talk to them. Yes.
All right, I had to ask because he put a comment up, and he said he was going to give my address to Tupac Wallace if I didn't ask his question. And quickly, El Taco, Billy Dauber, Clarence.
No, Billy Dauber. Oh yeah, I had fun with him.
You had fun with him.
I'm drinking at a bar one night, and he comes in, and the bartender was a girlfriend of mine. Well, he wants to buy me a drink. I don't know him. And I'm like, I don't want your drink. He's well, do you know who I am? I said, I don't care who you are. It doesn't matter to me. I don't want your drink. Well, I'm the Dauber. I said, and who's that? Well, everybody knows who I am. I said, well, maybe they do, but I don't. I don't want your drink. Okay. So the next day I called Curt, and I'm not married to Curt yet. And I said, who the hell's the Dauber? He said, why? And I told him what happened. He goes, well, he's a hitman. He said, no, you don't mess around with him. I said, I don't care. I didn't want his drink. He said, well, I'll talk to him and I'll straighten it out. Well, I didn't see him again. So now fast forward years, I'm in Phoenix, and I wanted a divorce, of course. Well, he didn't want to give me a divorce. So he ambushes me and people I'm with in the car. We're going out of my apartment, and they have guns on us. Okay. Well, they start shooting, and my friend who's with me, with one friend, him and Curt are tackling, and my friend Curt pulled out. Yeah, my friend pulled out a knife and slit Curt's throat. So anyhow, to make a long story short, we got in the car. He got shot in the leg, my friend, through the leg, and we're trying to get out before the cops come. People were yelling, "Call the police! Call the police!" So we're trying to get out of there, and we got out. We went and hid in Scottsdale. His bullet went through his leg, so he was okay. But Curt had to go get stitches because his throat was slit. But to make a long story short, he finds out the guy that slit his throat was his sister's best friend's son. Can you believe that coincidence?
Wow. Sister's best friend's son.
Marion's best friend's son.
Yeah, her son. That he used to put on his knee.
Eric Phillips, welcome aboard. Thanks for joining the channel. Now you got access to some special footage. You can go watch some special clips that are, I don't know, a Frank Collada, things that aren't on the normal show. So be sure to check out that playlist. You now have access to it. And it looks like Joe Collada said that the script is going to an A-list director, and she is very interested and impressed and has a connection to a streaming company. So that's great news, Joe. I haven't talked to him on the phone to hear the news as to who it was, but it's a she who's a director. So who knows? You never know, you know. Fingers crossed, buddy.
This is all new to me. Oh yeah, exactly.
Diane, go back to the park bench. Meeting in the park.
Please.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Where was I?
When Curt had to go meet Joey in the park.
Oh, yes. Okay. So the word got out that Joey wanted to meet Curt at this park, on this park bench.
Joey Lombardo.
So Curt said to me, well, he's going to probably kill me. I said, what are you talking about? Kill you? Why? Well, they didn't leave me in a park bench for nothing. I'm not going unless you go with me. I said, Jesus Christ, Curt, of course I'll go with you. I'm not afraid of anybody. So I went with him. So we pull up to the park, of course, and Joey's sitting on the park bench. So we walk up to Joey, and Joey looks at us, and he goes, why'd you bring your wife, Curt? Did you think I was going to hurt you? And I start laughing. I said, no, I wanted to take a ride, Joey. He said, yeah, sure you did. and that was so funny because whatever he wanted to talk about, he didn't. It was like small talk for a minute, and then we left.
Wow.
Maybe
what Diane didn't know was I had an argument about Curt. We had a major argument, and he was there to hurt him.
You think so? I don't know.
I know it.
But it was so weird because why would he meet him on a park bench?
He was going to do it in public.
This was like 2 in the afternoon. It was early.
Diane, Ryan Brown wants to know if you knew the Janes.
Oh, that's another story. Ready for this one?
Did you really?
Yeah. Oh, here we go. All right.
No, wait. This is an apropos comment, Michael Graham. Diane had all kinds of outfit connections and knew everyone, but had no idea she knew them. LOL.
No, I didn't. Well, here's
Smash the like button. Like button, guys. There's almost 300 of you in here. Hit the like button.
Okay, so we're having dinner. Curt and I are at a round table. And next to us, adjacent to us, was Kenny. That was his brother. Bob Brown, who was a horse person. One of the James brothers. And 2 other people sitting at this other round table. Well, of course, we're just like 3 feet from the table. So you could hear the conversation, bits of it, right? So I don't know anything that's going on. And I hear somebody at the table say, oh, don't worry, they'll never find her. She's in the steel mill. And Bob Brown starts laughing. He said, yes, they'll never find her. She's and I said, Curt, who are they talking about? Who? He said, well, this Helen Broch is missing. I said, well, who's Helen Broch? I didn't even know who the hell she was. And he said, some candy heiress or something. And I'm like, oh, my God, that's awful. And I let it go. I'm eating by whatever I ordered. And I'm listening to them laughing about not finding her and blah, blah, blah. Well, then later on, it's in the newspaper that she was missing. They couldn't find her and blah, blah, blah. So years later, I found out that they put her in the steel mill. That's why they never found her. How could they find her? She was melted.
The vat of steel, right? The Helen, yeah.
I never even heard of Helen Broch.
I could see Curt saying, oh, that's nothing. That's nothing to worry about. Just put his hand over her.
I was laughing, and I could still hear Bob Brown. He was a jerk anyhow. A big horse dealer with Kenny because they were always doing stuff to horses, injecting them or whatever they were doing. And I said, why is he laughing about it? What's so funny about it? I didn't find it funny at all.
William Kirchmayer, Miss Diane, did Curt tell you what outfit he served in while in Iwo Jima?
No, he didn't, but he was a Marine.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me something. He never talked too much about it, except that it was just, he didn't like Japanese because of what he's seen. And he said that they would take our guys and capture them and hang them upside down and skin them alive. It made me sick.
Man, I talk to Red. I sometimes ask Red, he doesn't like to talk about that. Stuff that they saw, but I can't imagine it. But you know what? Yeah, Broch is who we were talking about there, guys. Broch, Helen Broch's candy. I see the comments you guys are asking. So be sure to hit the likes if you guys are just coming in. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Perscribe, as we say. And if you haven't been here, all we talk about is Chicago outfit history, Chicago crime history. We pretty much stay on that topic. But we do get off topic in the after party. And that's where we talk about damn near anything and everything. Right, Red?
Yes. Diane, if you want to join at the after party on my channel, I can send you another request and go to my channel.
Sure, I'd love to. Somebody just texted in there, Ricky. His name is Ricky, and he wanted to know if I knew Jackie Cerrone. Jackie Cerrone was a Cicero Mafia guy. Yes, I did know Jackie Cerrone, Ricky.
Jackie Cerrone, yeah. So how did you know him?
Just they all kind of went to, you'd see them. They'd come into place, they'd have their little chit-chat meetings, and I said, who's that? That's Jackie Cerrone, Mm-hmm. And he would come into the Turf Lounge, which Joey Aiuppa owned. And Mo was the one I was dating at the time, so they would come in and out of there. That's how I knew Jackie Cerrone. In fact, I met Al Capone's brother one night. I'm in there, and Ralph walks up to me.
Bottles?
Yeah, I don't know, but anyhow, he walks up to me. He was an old man to me because we were going back years ago, and he walked up to me and he starts making some small talk, and I'm like, I knew he was going to hit on me. It was obvious, right? So all of a sudden, Mo comes running across the bar, the other end of the bar, and he says, just talking to Ralph, come on, Ralph, blah, 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 blah. So he takes Ralph away from me, and I said, who was that? He said, oh, my God, that's Al Capone's brother. I said, I don't care who it is. I don't want to be bothered. He goes, I know. That's why I came running up to you. And that's how I met Ralph Capone.
That's wild. Diane, thank you so much for doing this. I'm thanking you for me, and I'm thanking you from all of the prescribers because they have loved this episode. I haven't seen this many compliments in a long time, and we're at almost 300 people right now, which is a pretty damn good podcast or vlog today. And Diane's going to say it's going to come on to the after party show. So guys, if you want to, we're going to be starting that in about 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes from now. So let's meet over there. And Diane, would you ever come back on this on the show to do another interview?
I'm glad to.
Oh, that's awesome.
I haven't done this, and I haven't talked to anybody about this. You don't just talk to people about mafia.
We talked.
You and I, Billy, but that's different. We go back 45 years ago.
Jerry Cruz said, bring her back. Scott said, it's a great show. Everybody's loving it. Guys, hit the like button. Let's set a record on this show. And thank you very much, Diana, for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you in the after party, okay?
Great, thank you.
Awesome.
Diane, how far are you in my book?
Oh, I've got like maybe 4 chapters left. Great.
Wow.
I love it.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't bought Red's book, be sure to buy his book. Look in the description below. Down there, you'll find a link to buy Red's book. You'll find a link.
I'm in it. He's got me in it.
Yeah, and Diane's in the book. That's right. So,
I never thought we'd see each other.
Well, neither did I. I was shocked.
This is awesome. Hey, guys, it's been fun. We'll see you next time. It's Mob Vlog.